Good afternoon. Today is March 22, 2024. So before we start,
Put ourselves in the presence of the Lord. We offer you our thanksgiving. We thank you for everything so that ask you to open our eyes to see the wonderful things from this activity. We ask that you open our ears so that we may retain the invaluable knowledge. Open our lips for us to think wisely with understanding, combination, peace in fulfilling our responsibilities. Open so that we may see your everlasting love. Your spirit so that we may know that we ask all this in the name of Jesus Christ.
Before we start our pre-bidding conference, I call the attendance first. Okay, for the bids and awards committee, our back chairperson, Ade Manolo Madronio Jr., your procurement engineer, yours truly, Sharina Batocapala. For the back secretariat members, Jerome Padraki, Arnel Branzuela, Fritz Andrew Asignar. And for the technical working group, we have Attorney Francis Canete, Evelyn Mansueto, Kini Luis Mansueto, Alan Emiaon Jr., and Rinaldo B. Padillo. So for the prospective bidders who are here, Judge Ann L. Construction and Engineering Services, Ma'am Leonie Yap. Okay. Judge Ann L. Construction and Engineering Services also, Shane Yap. Is Bianti Construction OPC, Timags, Magda Balenton. So, Mr. Chairman, we have only 3 prospective bidder who are present.
So again, good afternoon. So we have here two projects to be discussed. Drew, ikaw nito. Okay. So I'll turn over to Engineer Andrew for the brief discussions of these two projects for our bidding conference.
Thank you, Sir Ade. For the first contract ID for today's pre-bidding conference, 24HH 0089. Repair of Department of Public Works and Highways, Cebu City District Engineering Office, Cebu City. It is a building repair with an ABC of 3,466,402 and 84 centavos. Good morning. For 90 calendar days. The project is located kung asa ta karon this building gid no. Okay. Di makita? So since it is a repair, so our scope of work for this contract is the removal and replacement of air conditioning units. Um, Specifically sa third floor of this building. By the way, the building is composed of 3 floors, no? Only ang third floor ta mag-replace sa tanang aircon units. 4 from the construction section, planning, maintenance, and usa sa kining extension nga building, no? Um, Existing ang AC units, so we're going to remove it and replace to a new one. And also, naatay fabricated materials, kining mga tempered glass door. It is a lump sum, pero gi-compose ni siya og 3 sets. Ang atong isa sa main door, here, kini, main door, diri dapita, niya ang isa ka exit. No? Na siya existing nga glass door, niya since kanang guba naman atong ilisan. And the third one, kay kining sa extension sa third floor. Mag-replace po tag new nga swing glass door using 12 mm. And also, natay fabricated work sa item 1003-17, no? And asa pa ani? Ceiling, glaze tiles kay 13 square meter kay natay kana retailing sa ground floor sa QA nga section. Ato nangi. Okay. So, mo na ang atong scope of work for this contract ID. Ang pinaka-main niya is mo itong replacement of new AC units sa third floor. Okay. And once again, the project is located sa existing office sa DPWH Cebu City District. For the last contract ID, 24HH0090, Convergence and Special Support Program, Basic Infrastructure Program or BIP, multipurpose buildings/facilities to support social services, construction of multipurpose building, Barangay Budla-an, Cebu City. It is a building construction having 4.95 million for the ABC and 120 calendar days for this year's GAA FY 2024. Okay. The project is located sa kanang mura siya og tawag na kanang dili dan. Kana bitong gi-relocate ang mga tawo sa nang area? Dili kanang dili evacuation kanang na kay price ha. Nay nakadaog diri relocation area ko no. Na kay price. So relocation area. Ano to? Relocation area ni siya. So ang mayong relocation from different barangay na sila, gi-move diha sa Barangay Budla-an, nahimo nang taga Barangay Budla-an. No? Bitaw. So kung makuan mo sa Budla-an kini nga area, so mo ni. Naa na siya existing structure. It is ang function gid niya ato kay it is a chapel. No? And the end user, the barangay captain requested for a multi-purpose building. So we're going to construct a kanang 2-story multi-purpose building Ang ground niya is mo to atong i-retain ang iyang chapel. And ang second floor niya kay ilang multipurpose, mag conference, mga ingon ana, no? Okay? So, gamay ra kayo ang area sa maong project. It has ang area niya 5 by 13, no? Pataas, it is a rectangular shape. And so mo ni atong mga floor plan. So it is a construction good from footing to column to tie beams to slab and to roofing. Okay? So ato lang i-go through ang plans, ha. It's So mo ni showing the elevations. So here, ari na makita nato nga ang proposed project is a 2-story multipurpose building. Okay? So, ang muna, it is a multipurpose building, functioned as a chapel, ang ground, and multipurpose ang iyang second floor. Di siya bukid. Although ang terrain niya is daplin man karsada, no? Pero local road siya, di siya bukid pod siya, dili. So, ma-access ra gid bisag kanang mga six-wheeler ko na to, ma-access ra. Dili siya kaabot sa barangay hall pod padong babaw, dili kaabot sa ubos pa. Kakita mo anang naitindahan sa Budla-an? Naitindahan diha. So, mo na if kanang further questions, site validation, site inspection, please do refer sa planning and design section para pag-validate mo na. Okay, if you're interested. So that's it for today's 2 projects pre-bidding conference. Thank you.
So, wala. Specifications siguro, ma'am. So, yung specs lang po, ma'am. Meron tayo. So, any more concerns and clarifications from our visitors? O yan, ha? So, nice, ha? Bagong nalaman. Okay, so if there's any more question, and again, thank you very much, Engineer Andrew. So, this ends our, di pa pala. Reminders pala. So, let's play it.
Good morning once again. The additional information for the bidders. For the documents to be submitted, and these following requirements will be discussed in the preparation of the documents. First, for the technical proposal, the basic eligibility requirement during the submission of bids in the project certificate of registration and membership must be current and updated in accordance with the provisions of the IRR. Each registration is proper and relevant to the particular type of procurement. In view of the Class A eligibility documents uploaded and maintained current and updated in the FIRDIPS, bidders are required to submit their FIRDIPS certificate of registration during bid submission. Next, if a bidder is not enrolled in CWA, the bidder must attach validated pickup license and registration and statement of all ongoing and completed government and private contracts, including contracts awarded but not yet started, and whether or not similar in nature and complexity to the contract to the bid within the period provided in the bidding documents given emphasis as per Department Order number 36 series of 2615. And for this, strong emphasis is given to this matter since this will be strictly revalidated and checked upon during the detailed bid evaluation. Non-compliance of this is subjected for sanction per DEO number 17 series of 2015 under the three-strike policy report. Next, statement of single largest completed contract or SLCC, similar to the contract to be bid at least 50% of the ABC. Net financial contracting capacity or NFCC, computation and statement of total assets and liabilities. Next is the mayor's permit or business permit, 90% tax clearance, audited financial statement, duly received by EIR at least 2 years from paying their income tax return or ITR. Next is for DTI for sole proprietorship and CDI for cooperatives. For a corporation, there should be a secretary certificate or board resolution duly notarized indicating the authorized and designated signing official. Next, GAA, if applicable, which requires special pickup license and registration with percentage of co-contractors. For the bid security, the contractor can choose among the applicable forms of bid security, which the duration is 120 calendar days per RA 9184. The bidder shall submit a bid security declaration or any form of bid security in an amount not less than the required percentage of the ABC in accordance with the following schedule. Cash or cashless check issued by the Universal of Commercial Bank, which is 2%. Bank draft guarantee or a revocable letter of credit issued by Universal or Commercial Bank, provided, however, that it shall be confirmed and authenticated by a Universal or Commercial Bank if issued by a foreign bank, which is 2%, shortly done upon demand issued by a surety or insurance company duly certified by the Insurance Commission as authorized to issue such security, which is 5%. Any discrepancy in the amount given by Centag remains non-compliant. If the validated exceeds 120 calendar days, the contractor should renew and submit a new bid securing declaration or BSD, considering that all legal, technical, and financial documents should still be valid during the work. Number 4, bid security in prescribed form for the amount and validity period. For project requirements, the bidders should attach the organizational chart for the contract to be bid, including the list of contractors' key personnel to be assigned to the contract with their complete qualification data and affidavit of commitment to work on the project of a contractor's key technical personnel, which there must be no duplication of key functions wherein assignments of several projects of key personnel is strongly discouraged because it was found out that some contractors have one project engineer with multiple ongoing contract projects. The 5 key technical personnel must have experience similar to the contract project to be bid at least 50% of ABC, or as follows: project manager is not necessary and licensed civil engineer. However, the experience should have minimum of 5 years experience of same position and 3 years experience of similar position. Project engineer must be duly licensed civil engineer. Should be current and updated with minimum of 5 years experience of same position, 3 years experience of similar position. For the materials engineer, must be a licensed civil position, 3 years experience of similar position, duly DPWH accredited materials and quality control engineer. Foreman with minimum of 5 years experience of same position and 2 years experience of similar position. For the safety and health officer with a certificate duly accredited by TOLE as safety officer. The bidder should have a safety officer 3 or SO3 regardless of amount and category, wherein the requirements and appointment, designation, and job description as safety officer. If the company doesn't have a safety officer, they should attach a pledge of commitment to undertake trainings for 48 hours. They advise not to manufacture the experience of their key technical personnel just to suit the requirements. All the licenses and credentials of the key technical personnel must be current and updated. These attachments should be visible and have a clear copy. The DAC advised that the pledged project engineer for the project should not be conflicting with other projects, considering that the supervision will be difficult, and this is one of the reasons that will cause negative slippage. A project engineer can handle within the same jurisdiction but outside is quite questionable for his capacity to supervise. List of contractors, major construction, and lab equipment units owned, leased, or under purchase agreements must be supported by proof of ownership or lease or purchase and certification of availability of equipment from lesser vendor for credit duration. Certification of minimum laboratory equipment duly certified by any PPWH office as per DEO number 80, series of 1990, and recuperated for strict compliance as per DEO number 138, series of 2015, DEO 11, series of 2017, to ensure that the said certification is current and updated, which has only 1 year validity and still subject for post-qualification. Construction Safety and Health Program for DO 129, series of 2014. The preparation of the Safety and Health Program is component of a technical proposal as per department order, of which the limitation is one safety officer within limited jurisdiction on the limits not exceeding 50 million. However, the project must have one first aider, and it is not necessarily approved considering that this will be resubmitted if they will be awarded to the project. The compliance of construction safety and health is now in law as per Republic Act 11058 dated August 2018. The safety officer 3 should be on site since this is one of the requirements during inspection of a personnel from toilet. There will be a penalty if a safety officer is not around during the inspection of toilet. The company should also conduct monthly, quarterly, yearly report as one of the OSH requirement in construction industry. The bidders were advised to prepare their own construction safety and health program. For the omnibus sworn statement in the form, the omnibus sworn statement has 9 items. They should comply with the standard form, wherein in the absence of one item, it will be rated as failed. For the affidavit of site inspection, inspection of the project site is encouraged in order to validate the site prior to dropping of bids to avoid future problem. Because the contractor has the responsibility to complete the project once awarded to them. For the financial proposal, this was included also the bid form, the bid prices in the bill of quantities, detailed estimates including a summary sheet indicating the unit prices of construction materials, labor rates, and equipment rentals used in coming up with the bid. So wala ang dapat in detail mo na na atong gi-kuan before, paper item na man ang lump sum, usually na sa mga building mga projects, maka-doon lang din mo sa planning, pwede mo bangayo o breakdown sa lump sum. No, for kuan po na siya for smooth implementation sa project. No? So, makabuo na din mo sa isod sa lump sum, kasi kung para sa ibang item na per square, na tayo na per square ng lump sum, compromise pa na tatlo kay materials. So, quarterly, monthly, cash flow and payment schedule must be present also in the financial proposal. Failure to attach any requirement or any missing, incomplete, or patently insufficient documents in the above mentioned is a ground for outright rejection for the bid and will fall as non-compliant. All documents to be submitted must be current and updated, otherwise it will be rated as failed. The technical and financial proposal must be in A4 size para ang standard sa ating bid documents. Well, documented with duly authorized signatures and book bounded to avoid insertion. Further, the authorized licensing officer will be the one to drop the bids. The bidders will also advise to be responsible for their bids submitted in accordance with the checklist, and their technical and financial proposals should have proper pagination based on the number or order in the checklist, including proper sequencing of documents. Their submitted documents should be done accordingly. If the legal aid documents are attached, much better. However, if the documents are expired, attach receipt of proof that the renewal is on process. The bid documents of the bidders must follow the completeness of the bid, both in form and substance. The bidders were advised not to recycle legal documents attached to the previous submission of bids, which have otherwise should also attach their project's registration. Leaving blanks of the bid proposal for a unit bid price of total cost per item is considered failed, except indicated as zero, which is understood as free to the government. Bidders with lowest bid during the opening of bid is not a guarantee to be awarded, while they subject for evaluation by the negative draft. All bid documents are still subject for bid evaluation, and post-qualification prior to be declared as lowest calculator responsive bid and subsequently to be awarded for the contract. The bidders are given 3 days upon bidding for file for motion for reconsideration. The PAC emphasized the deadline of the receipt by the PAC of bids, which is 10 a.m. only, as stipulated in the invitation of bid. Kung malapos na sa 10 a.m., so dili na makadrop ang bidders. No, ito ginang distrito maayo, i-close na ito ang atong bulkanan today beyond 10 a.m. in the morning. For the criteria and procedure for eligibility check, preliminary examination of bids, detailed evaluation of bids, post-qualification and award. The book will determine the eligibility of the bidders based on the project's registration and their legal aid documents, which should be maintained current and updated, including that of the civil works application or the CWA, which focuses on the NFCC work experience of single largest completed contract, similar to the contract project for bidding at hand. The BAC will ascertain based on the checklist of the required documents to be submitted using pass or fail criterion during the preliminary and detailed bid evaluation. In addition, after the opening of bids as per 2016 revised implementing rules and regulation under section 32.2, the BAC will conduct a detailed bid evaluation of all the bids using non-discretionary criteria wherein it requires the completeness of bid. Bids not addressing or providing all the required items in the bidding documents, including where applicable except those required by law or regulations to be provided for. In case of discrepancies between bid prices and figures and in words, the latter shall prevail, not and words are prevail. Total price per item and unit price for the item as extended or multiplied by the quantity of that item. Unit cost in the detailed estimate and unit cost in the bill of quantities, the same will be applied to the detailed checking evaluation of the technical. The same will be applied no, sa katong checking evaluation of the proposal. When the bidder, rated as the lowest calculated bidder, will undergo post-qualification. Once post-qualified, the bidder will be determined as lowest calculated responsive bid and subsequently to be awarded for the contract. All bidders are of equal footing thereby. Bidders are advised to include all taxes, other fiscal and duties as mandated by law in all items of work which details are shown in the detailed estimates. For the post-qualification, the bidders were advised to read Department Order number 127, Series 2018, and other issuances relative to this matter, since the BAC will be very keen and strict on the conduct of post-qualification process, considering that the concerned officials or employees, including the concerned BAC members, will be liable to the administrative penalties if this directive will not be followed. As per DEO number 127, the contractor will not be awarded with a certain project if it has a negative slippage of at least 15% in a single contract or at least 10% in 2 or more contracts. During post-qualification, even though the contractor is the lowest bidder, still it is subject for further verification to ensure the compliance of the requirements of the contract. With that, the office will be sending a letter being the lowest calculated bid, which within 5 days from the receipt of notice, the bidder must submit the latest income and business tax return and other appropriate licenses, permits, and other legal documents required and stated in the bidding document and as stipulated in the said communication. If not complied within 5 days, the next calculated lowest bidder will be notified. So, you are given 5 days, no? On the other hand, the office will be sending a letter of inquiry on the committed failure on the bidding at hand. Thus, this communication must be acted upon the contractor on the required time frame. Otherwise, without action taken, it will be relatively resort to sanction, which will fall on the three-strike policy, which a tantamount of blacklisting, suspension of the contractor. If the bidder will commit 3 mistakes in a year, then they will be recommended for further sanctions. Moreover, the qualification and experience of the key technical personnel is subject for verification as part of the post-qualification process. They are allowed to replace their key personnel technical, which they have to write a letter 14 days prior to the proposed replacement duly approved by the HOPE of the office. The BAC will be strict on the compliance of the equipment as part of post-qualification. No, it is stated as per DO number 127 series 2018. The contractor can attach in the proposal the list of equipment or agreement to purchase or proposal to rent or agreement on the delivery of the equipment so that the contractor will be assessed as compliant in terms of equipment requirement. The OR and CR must be present, no? Also, it must be current and updated, not expired. The equipment should be calibrated and extra accredited, and the registration should be current and updated. Whatever is stipulated in the BDS should be followed. An inspection will be other documents to be evaluated. Also, to be verified during post-qualification is the set of equipment pledged by the bidder. The bidder should, in the submitted bid, location of the equipment, where they expected na sa inyong equipment pledge, no? If any piece of equipment is not in the specified location, then the bidder shall be post-disqualified as per Department Order Number 9, Series of 2012. 10 calendar days upon receipt of the NOA or Notice of Award, the contractor must comply the following: Notice of Award with a bidder signed for a joint venture, contractor's PCAB license, special joint venture license, and joint venture agreement. Performance security in any of the forms specified in the instruction of bidders. The performance security shall be in the amount not less than the required percentage of the total contract price in accordance with the following schedule: cash or cashier's manager's check issued by Universal or Commercial Bank, which is 10%. Bank draft or guarantee or a revocable letter of credit issued by Universal or Commercial Bank, provided, however, that it shall be confirmed or authenticated by a Universal or Commercial Bank if issued by a foreign bank, which is 10%. Surety bond callable upon demand issued by a surety or insurance company duly certified by the Insurance Commission as authorized to issue such security, which is 30%. No? So, ang sa inyong construction methods, kay nabot ay form. No, follow lang ta sa form. Ang construction schedule in the form of per CPM diagram or precedence diagram and bar chart with S-curve, cash flow, contractor's all risk insurance or CARE to be submitted during the period required on the submission of the required documents in the award of contract. The effective date is on the effectivity of the contract. Latest income tax and business returns duly stamped and received by BIR and duly validated with the tax payments made. Tax clearance from the BIR to prove full and timely payment of taxes. For a local contractor, certification under oath stating that a contractor is free and clean of all tax liabilities. For a foreign bidder, for the summary.
Okay, so I think those are all the reminders for during the opening of bids. So I think that's all. So this pre-bidding conference is hereby adjourned. So for those who are online, thank you for watching, and for those here present, thank you very much for coming.